Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Haru, and I'm coming to you today with another exciting edition of Ask An Aquarius. Okay, so I got a message from a woman, and what she said was that she wanted me to explain how I got past narcissistic abuse. Everybody knows I had this situationship with this he who remained unnamed, and I went through a lot, suffered a lot of emotional and mental abuse, and was able to come on the other side of it. Thank God. So people want to know how. Is there life after a narcissist? There definitely is. Definitely so. And this is the thing. And I realized this before the relationship was even over. A narcissist will always try to get in your head. They play with your mind. They want you to believe the erroneous things that they want you to believe so they can do whatever they want to do to you. So the first thing you have to do when dealing with a narcissist is stop their ability to put thoughts in your mind. And you have to do this by having no communication with them. You have to cut them off. As long as they're talking to you, and I figured this out very quickly, as long as they're talking to you, every time they get to talk to you, especially as you're pulling away, a narcissist knows when you're fed up and you're pulling away. They can feel it, they can see it, they can tell by your actions. You're not the same easy-go-lucky person as you used to be. There's friction and conflict where there wasn't conflict before. So they know that their grip is breaking on you. So as their grip breaks, they try even harder and harder to squeeze you. Okay? And they always try to hold you with emotional stuff. Like they'll say emotional things to you, come off like they love you. A narcissist doesn't love you. A narcissist doesn't know how to love. A narcissist is really if you Google it, you'll see it's a real mental condition. They don't know how to do any of that. They fake every emotion. And if they do feel something, it's tainted by their need to control and dominate. So even if they do love something, it's kind of like if you find a baby bird and you love it so much you squeeze it to death. That's a narcissist. So if they do care about something or love something, they end up destroying it, just because of that energy. So the first thing you have to do is cut off their communication to you. You have to cut off their ability to put thoughts in your head. You have to cut them off email, telephone, text message, your friends. I don't care what app you got. I don't care how they can communicate you. You need to block them in that way. If you have them blocked on 16 different things, find 16 more. Okay, they should be blocked on everything. I used to go and find Voldemort on things and block him before he could find me, because new things kept coming up, like Twitter, Instagram. I wouldn't found him. Oh, there he is. Bloop. And made sure that I immediately, every time a new something came up, because I knew narcissists want to play with you. So they want to control you. They want to hurt you, so they'll find you and find a way, So that's the first thing you have to do is just shut off their ability to put thoughts in your head, which means not talking to them, not communicating with them, and not taking messages from anybody that's trying to give you a message. I don't care if it's a positive message, a negative message, no messages. Because sometimes they'll tell your friends or your family, oh, just tell her I'm so sorry, I miss her, I want to make it up to her. When the truth is, all they really want you to do is call them so they can berate you or say something cruel to you or hurt you. So don't ever allow that. When people say to you, oh, so-and-so, people will say to me, oh, I saw Voldemort. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm going to see you later. I would cut them Jones right off. Like, after I realized the game and I realized how the energy comes to you, I didn't even give them a chance to say. If they said they saw him, I cut the conversation off. I didn't do that at first, though. At first, I didn't know all of this stuff. All the stuff I'm telling you is what I learned from going through this situation and getting burned. Okay? So what I learned eventually was to stop listening to people that had stories about him. Just stop. I don't even want to know. And that's what I told my friends. Like, I don't want to know. I don't need to know. Okay? And so they stopped telling me. Let me close the window. Anyway. So they stopped telling me and life went on. The other thing is that when dealing with a narcissist, after you stop their ability to put thoughts in your head, you have to then get rid of the negative thoughts they've already put in your head. This person has spent whatever amount of time they've been around you 2 weeks, 6 years, 20 years. They've spent all that time playing with your mind, putting their weird ideas in your head so you'll let them do whatever they're trying to do. They've spent all this time working on you, brainwashing you. So the other thing you have to do is go to therapy. And I was in therapy before the relationship was even over because I knew something was wrong. You need to go to therapy or go someplace, some spiritual person, somebody that is good who can help you deconstruct the lies they've told you. The lies they've told you, and I know the lies they've told you. They've told you all kinds of lies against your self-worth. Because when a narcissist is in a good mood, you're the moon and stars. When they're in a good mood and they're feeling good, they will give you all kinds of compliments. That's how they keep you. If a narcissist was negative all the time, nobody would stay with them. A narcissist feeds you sugar in one hand and salt with the other hand, or sugar and shit in the other hand, basically. So you're getting good stuff, good enforcement. So you're like, oh, well, he's not all bad. She's not all bad, because you're getting good, and then here comes the bad. And you have to take the good to get the bad. But the bad is horrible. The bad is, them putting you down and talking smack to you, and they get really nasty. And you are all kinds of imperfect. It's always something wrong with you. So a lot of what they've tried to do is poison you against you. So you have to go to therapy and get your sense of self back, your sense of self-worth back. You have to deconstruct all those notions that the narcissist has put into your mind. And a lot of them are subconscious or unconscious. And you might not even realize them until you start to go through therapy and start to go through meditations and start to go through emotional healing work. And then you'd be like, where did this thought come from? The narcissist. Where'd that thought from? The narcissist said that. And it'll all start coming back to you, the positive and the negative, So what happens is that you have to deconstruct all those notions that they've given you, all that bad information. It's like a computer. You got to delete all that shit. Every last bit of it. You have to delete all of it, the good stuff and the bad stuff. One thing that I learned through the situation of going through this with Voldemort and dealing with it this year, basically, was that you have to get rid of everything. You must let go of everything. You have to let go of the good things. You have to let go of the bad things, the things that they gave you, everything. You have to let it all go. You have to put them out of your mind. Those trips, those memories, all of that stuff has to come out of your mind because it keeps you in that space. Even if you don't talk to them. The only time I saw Voldemort after we stopped seeing each other, I would see Voldemort every couple of years. Maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I would see him like that. Because mind you, this happened like 15 years ago. So I would duck him for large amounts of time and then end up either him reaching out to me or me reaching out to him, one or the other. Because the energy of not letting everything go, not letting go of the good times, not letting go of the memories, not letting go of all the things he had given me. I had all kinds of gifts from him that I had for years and years and years. Threw all that stuff away. Threw all that shit in the trash. Got rid of all the poems he wrote me. All that shit is all manipulation. It's all manipulation. Get rid of all of it. Get rid of the belongings and stop thinking about the memories. Stop all of that. Push all that shit away. Because it all is one thing. It's all one big ball of crap, If you have a ball of crap and you sprinkle sugar on it, it's still crap, Every last bit of it. So get rid of the sugar too with the shit. So that's the other thing. You're going to have somebody help you with that part. Some people don't trust therapists. Some people don't want to go to a hypnotist or a Reiki master or a spiritual healer or get a reading. Sometimes people don't want to do that. So I tell them, if you're not into that or that's not comfortable for you, you're going to have to get some self-help books. They have 1 million self-help books on how to survive after a narcissist. I mean, there's 1 million of them. If you Google that, if you just Google the word narcissist, and you will see that Amazon has and other book places have all these books and self-help books and things on narcissists. So you need to go through that, read things, deconstruct those notions, and do it yourself if you're not going to work with a professional. Okay. So that's the other thing that you have to do. And then after that, I guess I did all these things simultaneously. I didn't just do one at a time. I did them all at the same time. And as I figured things out, I did new things like, okay, get rid of this stuff. Okay, do this, do that. And I just kept doing things as I went along. The other thing you want to do is you really want to start to give yourself a lot of self-care. You have to. Because this only occurred because somewhere inside of yourself, something was already wrong. A narcissist can't get a hold of you and keep you unless something is already going on. Because a normal person, when they come across a narcissist and they figure that out, they stop seeing them. A person that has no hurt or wounds, or if nothing is wrong, they stop seeing them. They see the narcissist for who they are. It might take them a couple months, 3 months, maybe 4, and they go about their business. If you stay with a narcissist any amount of time, I would say any more than 3 months, there's something inside of you that's allowing you to stay there. There's something in you that's saying it's okay that this person is emotionally abusive. And that means that you need more self-care. That's also where the therapy comes in. So the other thing I started to do was to do things for myself. I would mail myself boxes of chocolate. I'd mail myself boxes of chocolate with a little poem in them. Poem I wrote or a poem I got offline. I love Rumi and I love Hafiz. Those are 2 ancient poets. And they have a lot of stuff on love. So I would, pull up something and send myself a box of candy, some flowers. I did a lot of things like that. Take myself to get my toes done. Tell myself yes when I normally would say no. A lot of times we do everything for everybody else, but we don't do anything for ourselves. So I started doing more things for myself and started giving myself more care and more attention. And I got really into my emotional and my mental health, which of course goes along with your physical health too, because you want to be balanced: mind, body, spirit, emotion. You want everything to be balanced. So I just started working on myself and continued working on myself, and I'm still working on myself. But I started to feel better pretty quickly. Oh, another thing I want to tell you. In the very beginning, when I first stopped seeing Voldemort, I cried all the time. I would come home from work and cry. I would think about the situation at work and cry. I would be driving to work and cry. I mean, all I did was cry. One day I cried so much I threw up, like in the very beginning. And slowly but surely, I just kept crying. But I let myself cry, and it was good. And I found out later that it was really good because that was how I released all that hurt, caught up emotion. And I just cried. I cried a lot. I can't even remember when I stopped crying. I cried for a long time. That shit hurt really bad. And I cried and cried. I think I cried for at least 2 years. I cried like probably every day. And then I'd have to pull myself together and do whatever next thing it was I had to do. And at the time, I felt so bad. I felt so weak, like, why am I crying over this? This has been over, And the hurt was there. So I kept letting it up. And eventually I stopped crying. Eventually, I hardly ever, now I cry at stupid stuff like movies or songs and stuff like that. But at that time, I just cried and cried. And it was really good because, like I said, it was letting up all that hurt, caught, frustrated energy. So I say, if you feel like crying, let yourself cry until you can't cry no more. Don't fight that part. Because at first I was trying to fight that. I was trying to be strong, because I'm Aquarius and I'm a warrior, And it didn't help. Holding all that and just made me mean, quite frankly. I was just mean. So I just let it go. And one day it was all out. So that's how you can start to get over narcissistic abuse. You have to be consistent. And you have to be repetitive with your work. You can't just go to your therapist once a week and that's it. You have to be reading during the week. And I mean every day. You have to be reading something, looking at things. I would read an article, writing in your journal. You have to be doing emotional and mental work every single day. And one day, you'll feel better. And you won't even know how it happened. One day you'll just feel better. It happens in layers, you know? You just keep feeling better and better and better and better and better, you know? Because I felt myself getting better from the Voldemort situation maybe a couple years after it happened, like 2 years. But I just keep climbing. Every time I have another breakthrough, I feel a little bit better. And the last time I had a breakthrough was here. And that was, for me, the end. And when I went through that part of it, I was like, wow, it's over. It was like, wow. And that was it. So that's my recommendation to people who are trying to get over narcissistic abuse. Start there. Just remember, no matter what you decide to do, you have to reprogram yourself from the brainwashing that you took while you were with that person. And remember what I told you. You have to keep them from putting more thoughts into your head. Because once you leave a narcissist, they're really mad at you. And if they can get their hands on you, they're going to be as cruel as they can every time they can. So don't do what I did. I would talk to Voldemort. Bad move. I should have never spoke to him again. After I left initially, I should have never spoke to him again. It was a horrible move because then every time I saw him, I had to deconstruct the shit he told me the last time, you know, and I had to keep doing it over and over. And the last time I did it, I was like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never deconstructing something that fool told me ever again. He ain't telling me nothing else. That's it. That's it. And and you know what bothers me about narcissists? Not just him, but all of them. They know. They know. They know that they're destroying people. And they don't care. That's why you got to cut them off like an afro and keep it moving. Okay? Don't let that narcissist have the final say in your life. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Smack the red button, hit the bell, and pass on my videos to anybody who needs to hear it. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.